Monday night, the Townwide Facilities Committee met with 3 items on the agenda. Discuss the organizational chart, the Memorandum of Understanding, or MOU, between general government and the school department for the facilities department, and the financial analysis of the department. The goal is to have the new department up and ready to run on July 1st, 2021. The Townwide Facilities Committee will meet again in the upcoming months. Also Monday night, the Planning Board met with 3 topics to cover on their agenda. The meeting began with the board introducing the newest member, Brian Hatchie. Following the introduction, the board began their discussion on the site plan approval for the McDonald's property on Broadway. Town planner Paul Halkiotis explained.
We have asked the applicant to do more than what they're proposing to do on the project. And, the site has some shortcomings, and we were hoping that with a site plan review application in front of the planning board, that there would be an opportunity to address some of those shortcomings. And as an example, we had talked about how the project includes saw cutting the pavement in one area of the parking lot near the building, and they're gonna pour concrete and make a handicap parking space there. At another location to the rear of the building, facing it off to the left corner, there's a catch basin there for stormwater, and over time it's collapsed down, and it needs to be jacked back up and leveled off, put at the right elevation. And they've agreed to do that, and they're gonna saw cut a square around that catch basin. They're gonna put blocks to build up the right height, and then patch around it. And in situations like that, where 1, the parking lot's already old, and 2, they're gonna be saw cutting it. When you do something like that, where they make the cuts, that's a place where water will sit, and when water freezes, it expands, and this is how we get potholes, and how pavement can deteriorate faster when it's got some kind of a rut or a cut or a crack or something. And so we had asked the applicant, we recommended that now it's time to repave the parking lot. And they flat out have refused a couple of times, and they said that it's too expensive and it's not in the budget.
The original site plan hearing was supposed to be continued to Monday's meeting, but after a formal request, the hearing will be continued at their next meeting. The board invited town attorney David DeLuca to discuss the legal concerns of this case. The second agenda item of the night was a discussion on setting a performance bond for Power Lane. And the final discussion of the night was for landscaping plans and amendments to the rules and regulations governing site plan review. The next meeting for the planning board will be on December 2nd at 7:30 p.m. The final meeting of Monday night was the school committee. The night began with Assistant Town Planner Patrick Duchesne presenting a draft of the Green Communities Program Guide. Discussion ensued where committee members were concerned about the contents of the program, citing the intent expressed in the presentation does not necessarily match what the document reads.
So I think we all agree that what's written is not what is really kind of happening. So I'd like to make a motion can I make a motion to request something from Patrick?
Well, I was going to actually ask if maybe
Because I've got the themes.
Yeah, because we're running out of time, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And our November 20th meeting is really, really packed with other things that I cannot move any further, and it was impossible unless they get us here tonight. We're not going to get another meeting on the calendar. So I think we should kind of come up with a timeline, like what are we as a committee looking for, and by when, so that hopefully when we reconvene on November 20th, we can be productive and efficient for all of us.
So the themes that I heard, what I would love to see like in an executive summary, like it doesn't have to be, but it sounds like we're confused about the evidence. We would like to see written evidence of the non-binding nature of it. So you guys are telling us we don't have to do that.
Yep.
An explanation of where the grant money comes from and how, because that was a point of confusion for us. We'd like to see alignment with the school committee capital improvement plan. We would like to see numbers that you are comfortable with, that you don't say are inflated. And we'd like for the list of projects to include or reflect the potential site flux with everything we've got going on with, thank you, with the middle school, and then also with the fact that we may be doing redistricting as part of the Coakley plan.
The committee also approved a budget item of purchasing cameras to be installed on all school buses. The end of the meeting included updates on the field trip policy and the school start time task force. The school committee's next meeting is November 20th at the Callahan School, starting at 7 p.m. The Board of Selectmen met Tuesday night with 2 applicants of the Nord Cultural Council. Christopher Paddock and Arati Paranjpe both expressed their desire to be on the council and volunteer for the town of Norwood. The selectmen have been meeting with residents looking to serve on boards and committees to introduce themselves and learn about the prospective volunteers. The next Board of Selectmen meeting will be Tuesday, November 12th. The Zoning Board of Appeals also met Tuesday night. Middlesex Integrated Medicine was the only hearing on the ZBA agenda with a minor plan change that needed to be submitted for the record. The ZBA will meet again on November 19th. The Finance Commission met Thursday evening with a lot to cover. Peter Fraser from Hilltop Securities presented to the Finance Commission on bond ratings and credit ratings and how each element can affect the town's finances. Later in the meeting, the committee discussed the free cash policy along with the other post-employee benefits, or OPEB policy. The meeting concluded with a briefing of the Finance Commissioners' Conference. The next Finance Commission meeting will be Thursday, November 14th. The Permanent Building Construction Committee met at Town Hall Thursday night as well. The committee was updated on continuing projects such as the Town Hall elevator and the high school roof, as well as the update on the chapel project. The next PBCC meeting will take place in the coming weeks.